Hey up YouTubers. So today I'm in a town called Halifax. I'm just down by the bus station and I'm going to have a walk around and see what it's got to offer. Now I was here a few days ago working and there was a few issues that I found in the town, so I wanted to come back, have a walk around and see if that were just a one-off. So I'll check back in with you shortly. I'm just by the Royal Mail here. Looks like quite a big organisation here. But yeah, I'll check back in with you shortly and show you the rest of the town. Just walking up by the town hall now. So this is the new bus station in Halifax. So I'll briefly just show you this. So yeah, that's the new bus station. I think it's only been open maybe a year or so. So I'm just going to have a walk up into the main part of the town. So if you come out the bus station, sort of walk up this quite new path and turn left, and that's the main town centre. So it is close. Looks like there's a Weatherspoons there, which I'm sure you'll all know about. But yeah, I'll check back in with you shortly. So I've seen my first Welcome to Halifax sign. Now when I was driving in today, what I did notice is that the only sign that I saw where you knew you were going into Halifax was this boring white sign and a black writing saying welcome to Halifax, twinned with, can't even remember the name, it was that small. But there was no other reference to the fact that you was coming into, which is quite a big town this. But yeah, I just thought I'd mention that, because you'd expect when you're coming into a town centre that there'd be quite a lot of, you know, signs, welcome, what it's got to offer, that kind of thing. So this is a nice building here, but I'll have a walk around it and check back in with you. So this looks like some kind of retail park. It's got a cinema, some other restaurant, urban, Weatherspoons, and then a dentist at the bottom. You can also sleep there at the Premier Inn. There's some buildings getting redesigned there, and up here looks to be an old bingo hall that's long since closed down. But yeah, that place is called Broad Street Plaza. It looks like there's a Nando's there and some Brazilian restaurant by the looks of it. So yeah, this is on the end of the town. I'm currently just around the back of the town hall, which is the building that I briefly showed you in one of the clips. So here's the rest of it. So this is a better angle of the town hall here. There's a few car parks. You can also pay to park in here if you want. £1 per hour seems quite reasonable given today's standards. But yeah, the Halifax Town Hall, quite a nice building this, to be honest, and possibly the best thing that I've seen in Halifax so far. I'm guessing we'll see quite a lot of shops and properties to let throughout the town. Yeah, there is some nice buildings around here. Princess Street here. So I think that's the street going up there. I think I'll have a walk down here. So I'm just having a walk down this street. It looks like we're coming up to quite a nice looking hotel here. White Swan 3-star. There's the sign there. and Giulio's Italian restaurant. That looks quite nice, to be fair. But over the other side of the road we have McDonald's. There's a car reversing out here. Not really looking at me, but probably don't care. So yeah, I'm coming into town centre a bit now, and I'll check back in with you if there's anything interesting as I walk down here. So as I mentioned, I was in Halifax a few days back, and I was here for work, and I was walking up this street here actually, and I'm not joking, there were people everywhere shouting, swearing, and just causing a complete scene, to be honest, which is why I didn't actually film on that day. But yeah, I just thought I'd let you know that I'm guessing with all UK towns at the moment there's a lot of antisocial behaviour about, so I've come back on a bit of a quieter morning. It is a Sunday in the UK, so anyone that doesn't know, the shops here don't open all day, they only open for a certain amount of hours. I think it's 6 from memory. So yeah, the shops here won't be open all day. The smaller ones I think can open a little bit longer, but the main big shops can't. So I'll check back in with you shortly. So I'm just up here on one of the other streets. There's a William Hill, and I noticed that there's a lot of banks on this street. So further down there was a Virgin, there's a NatWest, HSBC, I can see a Lloyd's, and there's a Halifax main headquarters down there. So more of these small little independent shops selling crisps. And you've got your usual beauty, Turkish barbers, and Shaw Hardcastle schoolwear outfitters. We've got a Calderdale Credit Union across the road there. That looks quite a nice street up there. What I will say about the town, it's full of roadworks. So if you are coming here, be prepared to queue for quite a while as they're redesigning the whole town. So what I will say about Halifax, back when I was sort of a young pup, shall we say, I did used to have a few nights out here back in the day, and it was a vibrant town. There was pubs. I think from memory there was the most amount of pubs within a square mile in the UK. You know, there was a lot. The nightlife was thriving here. I don't think it's the same today, to be honest. Just walking around, a lot of the old places that I'd have gone to looked to be either shut down or very, very run down, and not the same vibe. So yeah, I just thought I'd mention that, because I have been to this town when I was younger, and you know, it was a good shopping town. It was a good nightlife, and also the thing that let it down back then was the Shea Stadium, which was an absolute dump. I'm sure there'll be, if anyone's watching and have been there back in the 90s, will agree that it was an absolute hole. But that's improved, but we'll reserve judgment on whether the town's got worse. So I'm just going to show you a lot of the roadworks up here. You know, there's another pub there, there's another Wetherspoons up there, but there's some buy-to-let properties. So I'm just going to have a walk down here. There'll be Peace Hall further down. There's a couple of things on the way. This used to be Main Street and Coliseum nightclub here, but I'm not too sure what it is now over there. But it looks a nice little day in here in Halifax, considering the bad weather we've had this weekend. And here's the theatre. Over there used to be a couple of nightclubs as well back in the day. Not sure if they still are. Yeah, here's a theatre. And that's back on that street there. So let's have a walk down by a place called the Peace Hall and towards the train station. I mean, every street that you go on is just roadworks. Everywhere you look, the town's just getting done up. And it's the same driving in, even on the outskirts. Every single road has got temporary traffic lights. It's absolutely crazy. Now, I was speaking to a couple of locals when I was here a few days ago, and they said the town has got massively worse over the last 12 months. There's hardly anyone coming in due to the problems. A pub over there called the Courtyard, Dixie Chicken, and A1 Ziggy's. They're a top club here, and it still looks like there's a lot of drinking establishments here. But from people I've spoken to, I did speak to a local off camera about 5 minutes ago, and they said the nightlife here is a bit of a nightmare. So up there we've got the market, Halifax Borough Market. There's a pub at the top, and then this is one of the main streets here. Poundland, Shoe Save, B&M Savers, Top Bargains, Bucky's, and an Iceland. So as I was walking down here, I was thinking to myself, a lot of this place is just full of cheap shops. But then I thought, if these actually weren't here, there'd be nothing here. So actually it's a good thing that they are, because I think this town would have practically nothing if it weren't for them. Because there's a lot of places that's shut down. There's a fish and chip shop's called Pearson's over the road there. In fact, I've not actually noticed another chippy. You know, everyone loves a chippy tea. Westgate pub there. Looks like there's a one-way system with the roads here, so if you do drive into the town centre, be careful. But yeah, I'm going to have a walk down into this place called Peace Hall now, and I'll show you around there. I have actually been here several times before. There's a lot of concerts here, so stay tuned, because this place is probably one of Halifax's best features. So you'll have just seen a clip of me showing you all around it. Big place this, very big place. I know they have concerts and stuff here, they'll usually have a stage in that corner from memory. But yeah, it is a nice place. It's sort of shops all up the tops there, so you can walk all the way around it. There's a library down there, a couple of bars, and then a couple of food places. Nothing's open this morning because it is quite early. It's 9:30 on a Sunday morning, but it is a lovely spot down here. Certainly one of, like I said earlier, certainly one of Halifax's best features, and definitely the best thing that I've seen today. But yeah, I know it was closed a few years ago to get done up, and they look like they've done a good job. Got that there. It's not actually flat, it does look like it is all on a slope, but it's been done to a pretty decent standard. So yeah, this is the Halifax Peace Hall. Just a little bit of information there for you. It is quite faded and difficult to read. But it looks like it was opened in 1779. some nice gates here, some detailed, nice little sheep. This is a sign giving you a little bit more information about where we are, what you can and can't do. So yeah, that's me leaving the Peace Hall now. I'm going to have a wander down towards the train station. Looks like there's another pub here. Square Chapel Arts Centre. It's a bit run down that. And then a pub. So I'll have a walk down this way. Like I say, there is parts of Halifax that do look like it needs a bit of a, you know, an upgrade. But there is some really nice parts of it as well. Tour bus parking. Not sure you want to do a tour of Halifax, but so I've made it down to the Halifax train station. Got a hotel across there and some more scaffolding. Also at the train station there is a place called Eureka, which is a famous children's museum. That's the sign again there. Let's have a quick walk down into the train station just to show it you. And I'll also show you Eureka, which is on my right hand side over this wall. I don't know if I can. There you go. So if you do want to visit Eureka, I'd probably check it out online and see what it's got to offer. But yeah, the train station and the bus station are quite far apart. They're probably around a 10-minute walk. I mean, they're both fairly close to the town centre themselves. But I suppose if you're getting a train, you'd be prepared that you're going to have to walk a bit to get to the bus station or the train station or vice versa. So yeah, that's Eureka. It's another nice old building there, which used to be the old train station, I believe. But yeah, I'll check back in when I get to the train station. So this is Halifax train station. I will briefly have a look inside before heading back up to the town. So you've got the ticket office there. So you've got a little cafe, some seating area here. There's 2 platforms here. So you just walk down here. If you look on the sign here, the trains don't go to very many places and they're delayed. Now there's a surprise. But yeah, you just go down them steps here and there's 2 platforms, I believe. Yeah, so there's not much to it, just a couple of platforms. So I'm just walking away from the train station now. It's coming up to where you can park for Peace Hall, how you get into Eureka, and how you get up to Deanclough Mills. So this is the library across the road there. There's also a Calderdale Industrial Museum across the road. Now I understand that's quite a nice place, but it doesn't open up very often. So if you go up them steps there, that leads you back into Peace Hall. So I'm guessing you'd park down sort of that direction and then come up these steps and you'll get straight into Pearsall. Got some old buildings here. Look like they're still in use. In fact, no. They've been converted into bedrooms. Sorry, apartments even. This used to be like gyms and shops and stuff like that back in the day, from memory. But yeah, it's all gone now. And that's your industrial museum and your entrance to Pearsall. Across the road you've got Burger King. I'm sure a lot of people are quite familiar with that type of establishment. I'm sure we all want, from time to time, a good burger and chips. So remember this place here being the old Blockbuster, and now it's just an empty shop. Yeah, what a blast from the past Blockbuster was, with its rent a DVD. Some more parking down here for those that like a good spot. It's fairly close to the town centre. I'm guessing the cost in there is quite high, to be fair, because there's a Marks and Spencer's right next to it. So yeah, a couple of businesses here, insurance brokers and a car tyre place. So as I'm walking back up this road here, that's towards the bus station, and that's right the way down there's the train station, so that's the distance if you're wanting to walk it. So yeah, I'll give you my final thoughts shortly and then I'll wrap this one up. Cheers. So I'm just on my way back to the car. Noticed a place called Healthy Minds. We all need a healthy mind so that we can think straight and go about as business. Body shop here. Top Coat Body Shop. So yeah, what's my thoughts? Do I think Halifax has declined from the years that I've been coming here back in the day? Possibly. It's definitely not as vibrant. There don't seem to be as many things happening in the town. A lot of places seem to have shut down, but I'm guessing that that's the same for all major towns in the UK. And Halifax is quite a big place. I mean, it's certainly got a different vibe to the video that I did at Bingley. That's a totally different town to this, to be honest, and I felt like Bingley was a bit more modern. This seems to be a bit more old-fashioned, with a lot more, how can I put it, degrading. You know, like I said, there's a lot of buildings that are shut and shops that are shut down. I think at least in Bingley, when I did that town, there was most of the places were decent shops and, you know, local shops, shall we say. Seems to be a lot more bargain sort of places here. Yeah, the bus station's just up that road there, and this is back to the Royal Mail. So yeah, I'm gonna go and pick up the car now and head about my day as normal. But yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. If you could subscribe, that would be amazing, only because I need to get to 1,000 subscribers so that I can move this channel forward. Once I get there, my plan is to never ask anybody to subscribe again, because I do feel like I don't see why that's such a big thing, but I'm guessing that's what YouTube want us to do. So yeah, we'll call it there. Thanks for watching, and check out some of my other videos if possible. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye bye.